Hey everybody, welcome back to another campus release session. I have Jess Ostrom and Alex Morissette with me again. Last time we talked about some new features that came out within campus. Today we will do that as well as talk about some general use cases that are widely available within the platform. So Jess, Alex, thanks for being here.
No problem.
Thank you.
All right, the first one, most notably when you log into campus, you will see a range of data visualization options. So, Jess, what is the general purpose around campus, and why did we decide to go so strongly with a lot of the different data viz pieces that our customers will see in the platform?
Yeah, for sure. Historically, and even in most scenarios today, data visualization can be a very manual process. You're taking raw data, pivoting it into a spreadsheet, and ingesting it into a trend chart for analysis. This can be time consuming, as most of us know, delaying key data analysis that drives strategic marketing decisions. So, what we're trying to do here within the campaign reporting in campus, we feature an interactive graph where you can visualize the metrics you want to hone in on across the time frame of your choosing. So, a couple new enhancements to this graph, particularly that we just had in our most recent release, include the ability to customize the time granularity. So, previously, data was solely visualized by day. Now you have the ability to visualize your data by day, week, or month. You can also now hone in on a single data set where previously you had to select two sets of data to compare.
Cool. Al, would you mind walking us through some of that visually and just as you're doing that, Jess, would you like to talk a little bit about some of the benefits we see this having for our customers?
Yeah, for sure. So by allowing a user access to a real-time interactive visualization tool such as this, it allows for first and foremost time saving and increased agility. So a graph like this allows organizations to be more nimble. They can quickly respond to emerging trends, adjust strategies, and make data-backed decisions. It also benefits precision and trend analysis as a whole. So you can examine data in cuts that are most relevant to your unique business analysis. This helps in identifying trends that can influence your marketing decisions. So think of like seasonality trends that you might catch within this graph. But in summary, having an easy to use, customizable data visualization tool enriches data analysis, provides more nuanced insights that can drive both strategic decisions and improve operational efficiencies.
Al, I know your work, across kind of a range of different data visualization tools, very popular ones in the ecosystem. A lot of flexibility with some that are more static in terms of the offering that they give to a user to bring in different data sources, bring in different cuts of data, analyze that data. Can you just talk a little bit about how some of your experience with those tools has kind of come to life here within campus?
Sure, yeah. So we've got in our campaign reporting quite a few different cuts of data that are kind of plug and play and ready for you to analyze. So primarily, what we first start out with is the programmatic overview. So this will kind of aggregate at the campaign level the multiple different tactics that fall under programmatic. So this campaign, for example, has some connected TV components, some display components, some audio components, and some rich media. So by default, when you first click into this campaign, you'll be landed at the programmatic overview. Again, that kind of shows that we're summing up four different line items within this campaign. So the display, the rich media, the streaming audio, as well as the OTT CTV. And also what we've built into this is a few different objectives that you can click through to kind of hone in on certain metrics. So a lot of times we'll default things to look at clicks as a default for our programmatic overview, just because it corresponds to all of, or generally almost all of the different tactics within programmatic. However, you can adjust this from clicks and click on conversions. If you'd like to look at your conversions and your CPA type metrics, you'll see quite a few of these metrics will shift around. So now we've adjusted your single chart visuals here at the top. We've also adjusted what you're looking at in your time chart here, as well as kind of what you're looking at down in the lower levels of the line item breakouts as well. The other thing that will allow you to do within the conversions data is if you're running multiple different conversion pixels, you can filter to just the most important ones for that campaign. So you'd be able to click those and see your numbers update as well. So there's quite a bit of flexibility and customization here, but we've also tried to kind of package that up into useful use cases, common use cases, so that you can analyze things kind of at a click of a button.
I'm glad you said it. I think that's one of the most valuable things I see in this is having some recommended templates in here, kind of have a recommended layout of how the data should be viewed, and then giving different options based on the end user's kind of interest in terms of how they're going to splice that data. So one of those I know that Jess, your team has probably had to pull for a long time very manually, our reach and frequency report. So let's talk about the new reach and frequency feature, how to come to be, which problem are we looking to solve for our customers?
Yeah, I could start off with taking that. So, reach and frequency data has always played a pivotal role in digital marketing, as it offers key insight into how many people see an ad and how often. Reach and frequency, as anyone who has dealt with the data and trying to ingest it, it's a metric that has historically always been difficult to ingest via an API, as it can't be summed or combined like other metrics that are in the platform. So this kind of leaves many stakeholders have to wait for a one-off report or a presentation to receive the reach and frequency metric. So as he pulls that up, so we now have reach and frequency data pulling into the campaign overview report, as you can see right here. In typical reach and frequency fashion, this is a rolling 90-day report for the whole campaign.
As Jess mentioned, this reach and frequency data is inherently difficult. You can't kind of cut it up and then reaggregate it and make those pieces add up to the whole, because there is overlap between however you cut the data, right? And so what we've done as kind of a one size fits all universal approach is to take a rolling 90 days worth of data, as Jess said. So these reach and frequency numbers, there is a call out that kind of specifies how we've calculated this data. But do realize when you're looking at these reports that adjusting the time frame is not going to adjust the reach and frequency numbers that you see, again, just because that is always a rolling 90 days and it is up at the aggregate level of your campaign. So these numbers do update daily. However, again, only up at that highest granularity for your campaign.
Great. Definitely another useful tool that I think will help people understand kind of the universal application of a campaign. Reach and frequency, I think, is always a kind of gut check element of a campaign in terms of how well you're reaching your audience. What's kind of the expansion of that, how frequently that we're doing it, making sure it's the most optimal spend of that budget. So reach and frequency reporting now coming to the platform, available here. So next one, Al, I'd ask you to transition over to while we're kind of talking about it, is the rich media reporting. Jess, we've had Captivate here since 2015. Captivate is now, well, once was just rich media units and now interactive rich media units. That has really expanded into more interactivity of a range of ad formats, whether that be display, social, video, connected TV. So how do we kind of bring that into the platform? How is someone able to understand what's working and which areas of the unit are of most interest to a user?
One of the coolest attributes, to me at least, of our rich media units as a whole is the ability to capture and break down the individual engagements. So these engagements are actually pulled from outside the DSP in a different platform that houses a creative. Because the rich media reporting has these additional metrics that live in an outside platform, it wasn't being fully pulled into the standard tactic reporting in Kampus just yet. It's something that we've been working on the back end for quite some time that is now available. So therefore, users had to wait for a one-off or manual report for insight into these metrics up until now. So we now have, as you see where Alex is navigating right now, we now have a dedicated rich media engagement report that breaks down engagements associated with our rich media units. So within this report, you can see the individual click exits on a unit. So some might be clicking on the CTA, or they might be clicking on the logo to the website, or they're interacting with the other individual engagements, such as like carousel toggles or card flips, as some of the examples that you can see right here. And you could also see it if you scroll back up to the top, some rich media specific metrics such as average exposure time right there in the top right hand corner.
Okay, so at the top I have my summary, and then as we move down a little bit, I have more of a detailed breakdown of all those potential events that occur within a rich media unit. Perfect. All right, moving on to the next one, looking more holistically at a campaign. We are updating, kind of rolling out adjustments to our campaign status within Kampus. So Josh, you want to talk a little bit about the origin of that and the problem that we're looking to solve?
Yeah, so although we've already been providing campaign status updates in dashboard as well as in automated emails, when a campaign is in block status, the blocked reason was living solely in the email notification that went out. Therefore, if someone went into Kampus, and they haven't checked their email in a while, they wouldn't know why a campaign might be in blocked. And just so everybody here knows, block status indicates something is missing from the campaign that's preventing it from going live. So they might be missing assets, or they might be missing pixel placement. Now, when you're in the dashboard and hover over the block status, a pop-up will show and highlight the reason this campaign is in block status, as you can see right here. So from some benefits from this, just so everyone knows, even though this might seem like a small tweak, it actually serves a large purpose. As marketers, we can get caught up in the weeds of the day-to-day grind. Having this automated status for why my campaign might be inhibited from going live reminds me that I'm still waiting on something from the brand, and therefore allows me to be just more efficient and more proactive in reminding the brand like, hey, we're still not live, we're still waiting on these pixels or creatives, and therefore just makes me a better communicator at the end of the day.
So staying on top of where the campaign's at, what might be needed. I think one that goes hand in hand with that is our last feature, which is notification enhancements. Those previously used to be solely via email. Can you talk a little bit more about, what we're changing and the problem that we aim to solve with that new enhancement?
Yeah, absolutely. So as you said, previously the only notifications that happened, again, via email, as well as in platform, were those centered on campaign status and billing. Up until now, from a customization perspective, users only had the ability to opt in and opt out of those email notifications. Now we have added automated notifications for when custom embedded dashboards and documents such as like QBRs or presentations become available in Campus. In addition to that, we've also given users the ability to further customize their notification preferences. As you can see where Al is right now on the bottom left here. You can now opt out of each notification for email, but also for in-app. So for example, you might not want the email notifications, but you still want the notifications when you log into the platform.
Great. Alex, any other notes as we kind of wrap up here with the releases? Anything to keep in mind for our customers, our end users?
No, just an add-on for notifications. Those will basically what we do when those notifications are triggered is we first trigger an in-app notification, and then we'll wait for 50 minutes. And if you do have both in-app and email notifications on, at that point, if you have not acknowledged the in-app notification, we'll go ahead and send the email notification at that point. The thought being we don't want to double notify you of something that you're already aware of. So we have built in that functionality as well. And also the notifications do have a nifty little link that you can click right through to the page where that document or that dashboard is available within Campus. So you don't have to go searching around to try to find what's new.
Awesome. Alex and Josh, thanks again for the time. This was April's Campus release updates with a focus on continuing to improve the customer and end user experience. Stay tuned for future updates. We'll continue to do these videos. And as always, reach out to our team if you have any questions. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks all.